Let's start off with the pledge. All right, ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. My name is Kyler, and I will be your Toastmaster for this evening. We are going to start off this evening with our first speech, which will be from Luke. Unfortunately, I don't have the agenda in front of me. So, Luke, what is the title of your speech? Oh, that's I forgot the roles. Let me start. Let me start over. So first off, I'm going to be describing the roles, and I don't know if I got the full agenda. Let's see. Sorry about that. I'm a little bit off tonight. Okay, so all right. So first, I'm going to introduce our grammarian, who is David. David, will you tell us the word of the day and tell us a little bit about your role?
Sure. Hi, everyone. The word of the day is kibitzer. Kibitzer. That is one who looks on, often offers unwanted advice or comment. Used in a sentence, I wrote, "Did I ask you what you thought about my weight, you kibitzer?" So that's the word of the day. And I'll also be looking for improper use of the English language. And in addition to that, I'll be the counter. So I'll be looking for filler words such as or 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 so during speeches. And I'll be making note of how many of those I hear. And so that's my role for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, David. I appreciate it. Next up on our list is the Table Topics Master, which will be Diego this evening.
Hello, everyone. I know most of you have joined Toastmasters for the purposes of developing better public speaking skills when you have the spotlight on you, but in an effort to not appear like a kibitzer, I do want to share this important piece of information and advice, explaining that 99% of the time we live in a world where we do not have the spotlight, but we're still expected to communicate skills very well. And that is the exercise and the purpose of Table Topics, where you are asked to reflect on a question or topic and give a 1 to 2 minute speech on that topic or subject matter that you have been asked to reflect on. And this type of exercise is always used when it comes to networking events, or even when it comes to talking in dialogue with your close friends or acquaintances. And that is the purpose of our Table Topics portion for this evening. I will relinquish the lectern back to Kyler, our Toastmaster.
Thank you, Diego. Next, let's see, that general evaluator I will introduce will be Majed this evening.
Hello, everyone. My name is Majed. I will be the general evaluator for the meeting for tonight. My role is evaluating the meeting overall. How did it go? What time did we start? And how did each part of the meeting go? And after the prepared speeches, I would request the parts of the evaluator, the counter, grammarian, and the timer to give their report. And then after that, I will call the evaluator of the speech and then give my overall general evaluation for the meeting tonight. With this, I'll relinquish the lectern back to Toastmaster.
Thank you, Majed. Next, we have the timer for this evening, which I believe will be Cheyenne.
Hi, everyone. I will be tonight's timer. I will be using objects in place of me being the kibitzer and advising you to wrap up your speech. So the first one, when you have reached the time limit for the table topics, you'll see this green airplane. We'll let you know you have reached the 1 minute time mark. This lemon head will be your minute and a half. And then this fireball candy will be your 2-minute time to wrap it up. And then the speech for this evening, is it a 5 to 7 minutes?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and then likewise with the speech. Thank you.
All right, thank you to Madam Timer. That's the wrong term. And then, of course, David was also our grammarian, and we've already introduced our general evaluator. So with that, I will start off the meeting by introducing our first speaker, who will be Luke, and his speech. What is your speech on this evening, Luke?
It's my journey through Toastmasters and the club goals for this upcoming year.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So this will be Luke's speech on his journey and upcoming goals for the following year. Let's all welcome Luke to the lectern.
All right, good evening, everybody, and fellow Toastmaster members. So as your incoming president, I thought I could tell you a little bit about my public speaking and Toastmasters journey, why I wanted to become president, and tell you my vision and goals for our Toastmasters Club this upcoming year. And I got this idea from the TLI training that I attended this weekend. So public speaking or just being out in front of a crowd is something that I have always struggled with to some degree. I was able to get by in life and through high school, college, and some of my earlier jobs because I wasn't expected to lead or public speak often or ever in those job environments. So I joined the Coast Guard in 2006, and as the years progressed, so did my rank and responsibilities. So as you move up in rank, you become more of a supervisor and a leader. And with each advancement, you are tasked with larger responsibilities such as public speaking, presentations, leading shops, groups, and meetings. So I always looked up to some of my supervisors who just led and they spoke with confidence, and I trusted what they said and I believed in what they said. So this is the kind of supervisor or leader that I wanted to be, but when I public speak or had to get up and perform a duty in front of a large crowd, I did not have this confidence that I wanted to emulate in my life that I saw in others. So this is why 3 years ago I searched out Toastmasters and began my journey to fix, learn the tools, and get exposure to public speaking so that it did not hold me back and it was not something that I had to fear, shy away, or hide from. So the first club I joined was this club here, and Hilltoppers Toastmasters, and that was 3 years ago. And I think we all know Lawrence Crompton. He was my mentor. And if my memory serves me correct, I don't think I spoke for the first 3 meetings. I might have said my name, but I was quite overwhelmed, and so I stayed pretty quiet. But I kept coming back, and before you know it, in that same year, I was a member of 3 different clubs simultaneously. So you might be wondering, why join 3 clubs at once? Well, this is just what David was speaking about last week in his education overview, and that was exposure or exposure therapy. So I wasn't trying to fly through my speeches to receive my competent communicator. It was quite the opposite, actually. I would give the same speech at each club. So for every one speech I wrote, I actually gave that speech 3 separate times, one time at each club. So I know that might sound extreme to some, but this is what worked for me to give me the exposure that I was looking for. So after 1 year of speaking Monday nights at Hilltoppers in Mobile, Wednesday nights in Fairhope, and then Friday nights in Biloxi, I began to burn myself out, and it became a little too much. Did it help give me the exposure and the public speaking tools to better me not to conquer, but to successfully deal with my fear and self-consciousness of public speaking? Yes, it did. And I can honestly say that without Toastmasters, I would have not had the success that I've had in the Coast Guard without it. So this leads me to my goal of eventually becoming president of a Toastmasters Club. So I truly appreciate the nomination from Maurice to become president, but I was going to volunteer actually if no nomination was given. For me, this is my next step of building my tools and the foundation that I've learned this far in Toastmasters. It's the next progression to further my exposure and to better myself. But just my luck, once I become president, we have a global pandemic, and our meetings are not held in person anymore. Everything's virtual, and I live out in the middle of nowhere with an absolutely horrible internet connection and signal, as we all know. But it sounds like I might have fixed that problem tonight, and also thanks to the TLI training that I was at this weekend. So this leads me to my next and last topic tonight, and that's my goals for this club for the upcoming year, and they're quite simple, actually. I could take this time to explain all of these milestones and accomplishments that I want our club to meet, like the Distinguished Club program and so forth. But my main goals, and the ones that truly matter to me, is that we just simply offer a comforting, positive, and helpful environment for those looking to better themselves in any way. Being able to put our insecurities out there on display, just like I have done, and face them without judgment from others is how we get better and we learn. So I want everyone to have fun. I don't want Toastmasters to become a chore for anybody. And I want everyone enjoy bettering themselves in a safe environment. And that's what we have here. And I want to keep that going. So everything else will come in time, and I promise to do my best to lead us towards some of those larger club goals, which are important, but secondary to what I just mentioned for me. So I 100% believe in this club and what it can do for us, because I have experienced the results firsthand in my life, and I've seen the results in other people. I'm truly looking forward to being your president this year, and I thank everyone for their continued dedication during these trying times. I'm also really looking forward to meeting again in person, but everybody's safety right now is paramount. So, thanks everybody for listening tonight, and now I'll turn it back over to our Toastmaster, Kyler.
Thank you, Luke. So I'll give a hand to Luke. I appreciate you taking the time to talk about your history with Toastmasters and where you started and how you got to the position you're in now. That's inspiring to me, because that's something that I would like to work on more, is exposing myself to more public speaking situations. And to see your progress and see where you are is inspiring to the rest of us. And thank you for sharing that. Next, I'm going to move on to the table topics portion of our meeting. And Diego will be our table topics master. So let's all give a hand to Diego as he takes the lectern.
Thank you, Kyler. In an effort to reflect and respect the agenda, I think what we will do are a maximum of 3 table topics for tonight. So get them while they're hot. I'm always fascinated by language, and especially vocabulary, and increasing my vocabulary. So what we're going to do today is, what's the word I'm looking for? Surprise dictionary. Okay. So what will happen is I will ask for a volunteer, and you will get a word, and you will be asked to define it. And then at the end, I will give you the word's real definition. So do I have a volunteer? I saw Kyler's hand go up. Okay. Kyler, your word that you are going to explain the meaning of is anchorite.
Anchorite. Yes, an anchorite. I've been selling them for years. You need one for your car, you need one for your boat. Really anything that you want tied down during a hurricane or a windy day, or hey, it could be anything really. And you just take the anchorite, it's pretty small, but it's guaranteed to anchor correctly every single time. Hence the name anchorite. Anchorite. You simply place it on the object, and it's so dense. It's made from dark matter that although it's very small, it's heavier than anything in the universe, and it's guaranteed that whatever you've attached it to will not move. Thank you. That is the definition of anchorite.
Excellent, excellent creative imagination there, Kyler. An anchorite is a person who has retired to a solitary place for a life of religious seclusion, or a hermit.
You were
But
close.
I'm pretty sure that what Kyler described is also very accurate. Do we have another volunteer?
I think Majid's hand went up.
I didn't see, I saw Cheyenne's hand up, but I saw it after David accused Majid of raising his hand. So what's it going to be, guys?
You can take it, Majid. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Majid.
I was trying to put my hands down, but I think my shoulders went up, so let me go for it.
Majid, thank you for volunteering. The word that you are to explain to us is lassitude. Lassitude.
Lassitude.
Lassitude.
So I would have to reinvent the formula that formula was used a minute before, because I'm not much familiar with it. So lassitude would lean towards an object which is more of a nature, which is more laxative. So it's derived from a compound which helps in lax, and the formula for that is derived from natural herbs and stuff. But the end of the product which is made falls in the formula where all the lax are, and the word that you mentioned, lassitude, defines the herb that comes from it, and the main, how the plants are distributed in one categories and categories. So the main wing that lax and the natural are derived, the main category is the lassitude category. So I would relinquish the lectern back to Toastmaster, to Table Topic Master.
Well done, Majid. Great work for thinking on your feet. Lassitude means a weariness of body or mind from strain, oppressive climate, lack of energy, listlessness. All right, Cheyenne, you are going to be the last person to share with us what this word means. And the word that you are to explain is dilly. Dilly.
Dilly. Hello, everyone. I've come before you today to explain the word dilly. It is a not as common used word as it used to be, but a dilly is in fact a type of goose. So if you hear the phrase dilly-dallying, geese wander along aimlessly, so you don't want to be a wandering goose. So dilly-dally. There's also an ice cream called a dilly bar, which is filled with goose feathers, obviously, on the wrapper, but the inside, it's a goose's favorite ice cream. So a dilly, like I said, is a type of goose. They are actually endangered due to the pollution and climate change. So if you see a dilly, save a dilly, bring the dilly inside, because if you're cold, the dilly is cold too. Thank you.
Well done, Cheyenne. Excellent creative imagination as well. And a dilly is something or someone regarded as remarkable or unusual. Thank you all for participating in this thought exercise today, and I'm going to relinquish the lectern back to our Toastmaster.
Thank you, Diego. That was a really fun Toastmasters subject. Also, like, even though we were kind of like on the fly making up definitions, I also actually I was writing down the actual definitions. I was really enjoying learning these new words. Because it's I'll probably remember them forever now, because we just had to make up the definition, and then actually hearing the real definition, the contrast between the two will stand out in my mind. All righty, so we'll move on to our general evaluator, who will be Majid.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me as a general evaluator. First, I would like to call our first evaluator, right?
All right. I've been granted the privilege to evaluate Luke's speech entitled My Journey Through Toastmasters and Club Goals for the Upcoming Year. For the general comments, he excelled at walking us through his journey as a Toastmaster and stating his goals as the club president. He may want to work on vocal variety, even though your speech was clear throughout. It was a good volume, level, and clear throughout. To challenge yourself, just keep on your journey as a Toastmaster and keep improving on leadership and communication. The evaluation points: clarity, the speaker's voice was clear and easily understood. Vocal variety, again, the speech was mostly in monotone. Eye contact, because of Zoom, I didn't really put a lot of emphasis on eye contact. Gestures, due to the shrunken, I see a shrunken screen of Luke, so I can't really see his hands. So the audience awareness, I guess his awareness, audience engagement, again, because of Zoom, I did not really emphasize that much on that. Comfort level, the speaker appeared very comfortable in his presentation. Interest, the content of the speech was well constructed. So that is the evaluation of Luke's speech. Mr. General Evaluator.
We really appreciate your detailed feedback, Morris. It's always good to have a evaluation from you, especially from a Hawaiian background, and also to the degree that you have your hands on each variety, and you always give an idea how you could stretch yourself. As you said, good volume, and we always have a good speech from Luke, especially. This was less of a speech, more like an introduction, so we all enjoyed it, how Luke shared his thoughts and also what his vision is for our club. So that was really interesting, the speech as well as the evaluation. So with this, I would like to call upon our accountant and grammarian to give their report, please, David.
Hello again. We'll start with the word of the day, kibitzer. I have Cheyenne and Diego both making use of the word of the day. And I don't think I missed anybody, but holler if I missed you. As far as improper of the English language, everything was pretty much fine. I didn't notice anything noteworthy. So next, for the filler words, the ah counter role. For Luke's speech, which I enjoyed your speech, Luke. I didn't realize you had at one time been going to 3 meetings at once. That's pretty impressive. But for the speech, I counted well, actually I counted several ums and 3 uhs. And the word so is a real word, of course, but it seemed like you used it a few times in a filler word role. But that was about it. For Majid, for the table topics, I counted 5 uhs. And as far as general evaluator, I counted 4 uhs and a so. For Cheyenne's table topic, I counted 1 and that was it. And some of these were very brief. They weren't necessarily that distracting. Just for Kyler, actually Kyler's table topic, I became so engrossed in what he was saying that typically he uses some filler words, but if he did, I don't remember because I was just, especially when you hit it about dark matter, I was like, wow, that was really impressive. I enjoyed that. For Maurice's evaluation, I did not note any filler words at all. And for Diego's as table topic master, I didn't catch any filler words. And that's the all counters report. Thank you. And back to general evaluator.
All right, David, thank you. Appreciate your detailed analysis. I'm sure we have you writing your R's frequent in this meeting. Huh? Probably this was the reason I called you before the other report, so my other R's won't be counted. Let's go to our Shayan for our timer report. Shayan.
Hello, everyone. Luke, your speech was 6 minutes and 49 seconds. Moving on to our table topics. Kyler, your table topics was 44 seconds. Majid, your table topics was 1 minute and 14 seconds. And I was cheating, I had the timer there, but it was 1 minute on the dot. And then Maurice, your evaluation was 2 minutes and 6 seconds. So good job, everyone.
Thank you. Appreciate that input. Are we missing anything, or I can just give me my overall evaluation? And yep. Okay. Yeah, as David, you mentioned, even I was really involved in that anchor switch if it's real, because he just invented right on the spot. I'm trying to match the word and the meaning. I was really involved too. That's good. You started a new way to answer this topic. So, all right, really appreciate your input there. About general evaluation, about the meeting, we started about 4 minutes late, I think, 6:50, 6:49. We almost started the meeting, so overall we were on time. It's good that we had some members join a little early so we could re-verify our roles. As Luke mentioned, if we could join a few minutes earlier, it would be helpful to start our meetings on time, because towards the end of the meeting, we are always saving some time, like 5 to 4 minutes. So we could end the meeting right on time, because being Zoom meeting, the welcome to lectern and going back from lectern time is saved. So I think we are saving time towards the end always. But if we could join a few more minutes earlier, including myself, I encourage myself first, so we could have verified the agenda. And if you have already verified the agenda on Easy Speak, that's awesome too. All right, we got the report from the timer. It was a good overview about all individual roles counter. All the speeches were in time. Is there any educational overview there?
I don't have one, Majid.
Okay. All right. I think overall the speech went well. So the meeting went well. With this, I'll relinquish the lectern back to our Toastmaster, Kyler.
Thank you, Majid. I appreciate your evaluation of the meeting this evening and taking responsibility for that. Next, we'll move on to a educational overview. Do we have anyone doing an educational overview this evening?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. All right. In that case, it's been a great meeting. I appreciate you guys having me as your Toastmaster for the evening. And with that, I'll return the lectern back to Luke.
All right, thanks, Kyler. And thanks everybody for a good meeting. I know we're a little light tonight on members, so hopefully people aren't losing their interest right now, because I know the Zoom meetings are a little different than meeting in person. And